Welcome to our next session, which is one of my ultimate favorites, which is a seller feedback panel. So you'll get to hear from some key sellers and their journey with SPAPI and Amazon in general. With that, I'd like to welcome Shelly to the stage, along with her seller guest. Exactly, she purloined my clicker. Okay, great. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, can you all hear me okay? Excellent, excellent. Well, first off, welcome. I could not be more excited to be here this morning. This is an event that I've had the opportunity and privilege to be a part of for several years, and I've always really, truly loved the opportunity to get to connect with you all as developers and make sure you feel like first-class citizens in the Amazon ecosystem. So thank you all for being here today, and I'm really excited to talk with some of our sellers today and help you hear more directly from them what it is they're looking for from you, and hear a little bit more about how we all work together to make their experience awesome. So if you would join me, I would love to welcome a couple folks to the stage: Ezra Benun, Leslie Pierson, and James Kelly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Yeah, exactly. Hold for applause.
Amazing.
So Leslie Pierson is with Taco vs. Burrito. If you all are not familiar with that, one of our very successful sellers, which we're really excited to hear from today. And then we have James Kelly, former Amazonian, which we also are thrilled to have here. He runs Woolly Clothing. And Ezra Benun runs Bentex, which is a group of 7 companies? Yeah, did I get that right?
Yeah.
You can correct me.
That's right.
All right, I got it. So super excited to have you all here today. As a super brief introduction of me, my name is Shelly. I've been with Amazon for 4 years. I began my Amazon career in the listings experience. Hold for applause. No? And over the past 2 years, I have been working in the seller onboarding and education space, trying to create solutions to help you all help your sellers overcome cold start. Leslie, how about you?
Yeah, I've been selling on Amazon since 2016. Prior to that, I had a business. We did Shark Tank and did a deal with Lori Grenier, and since starting on Amazon, I realized I'd gone into retail, and I'm like, nope, no more. I'm 100% Amazon. I started doing what I do currently, which is Taco vs. Burrito, which is a card game company, because my son created a game when he was 7, and now he's my boss, which is really fun. And we're so excited to be here because you guys make what we do possible in a way that is scalable and doable, but without developers, I don't know what we would do. So thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here, Leslie. James, who are you?
Yeah, so I actually used to work in seller onboarding from 2010 to 2016 at Amazon, and as I was learning how to do it, I figured I might as well start a company myself. And so I had a side hustle for 4 years, and then another side hustle, and then at that point I was like, I gotta pick Amazon or the side hustle. So went full side hustle in 2016, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And so yeah, I've been Amazon Marketplace involved for quite a long time. And yeah, I have 3 brands. Woolly's the main one. And it used to be really easy. Now it's really hard. So thanks for all the tools you make to help make it easier. I appreciate it.
Hi.
Ezra, how about you?
Ezra Benun. Bentex is a family-owned company. We manage mostly children's apparel, but we have divisions doing pet stuff and all kinds of other things. In 2015, we started an e-commerce, and somehow magically I was able to get out of production and get into e-commerce. So it's my passion. I love coding, and I love data management, so all this stuff is very exciting. We've seen fantastic growth, and we know that most of it is achievable because we have applications like these that are helping us deal with tens of thousands of SKUs and being able to scale. So we're very excited to be here.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's always great to hear your journeys and your stories. So thank you for kicking us off today with that. I'm going to start with a softball. Leslie, I'll come to you first.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you use apps to streamline and automate parts of your business?
Yeah, I would say apps are critical for us. We'll do about $10 million this year. We have very few SKUs. I know what I love about this panel is that we're very different. You have many brands, you have 3 brands, but probably a gazillion SKUs, right?
Yeah.
I have 4 main SKUs, that's pretty much it. But we do about 80% of our sales in Q4, which is a lot of pressure. So for us, making sure that we have the right data when we need it is key. So business intelligence is key. Automating ads, because we do a ton within advertising. And then really inventory and shipment management is so critical, especially because it comes down to a day by day by day. If we're off by a day, it could be $1 million, if we didn't get inventory in.
Right.
So, yeah.
So let's use that. So James, as Leslie was mentioning, you have a few SKUs. How do you manage inventory and replenishment across such a varied degree of SKUs?
Yeah, so Woolly, I think, has around 3,000 SKUs now, which is, I think 6 sizes and up to 8 colors per style, so up to 120 styles. And whether it's underwear or hoodies or coats, those are also counter-seasonal or counter-cyclical. So, and we have up to a 9-month lead time because it's wool, and so it's really hard to get blanks and fabric. And so, for the first few years when I was full-time, I would basically just go into like a data cave and try to figure out our seasonality and then sizing and colors and, just trying to figure out what to order for which SKU and how to spread our MOQs across all of that. And so in the last few years, some really cool tools have come out that have really helped us even out demand forecast and inventory planning, and it's been insanely helpful. And then, really what I'm focused on now is when I have spikes, I can't respond for 9 months, and so I need to try and smooth those out. So trying to marry my inventory run rating and levels with my ad spend to try and feather these things in, and so I can last long enough without going out of stock and losing my bestseller ranks. That's my new data cave, and so if anybody here is interested in building that, we should talk. That's what I spend most of my time on that side.
Did you just buy datacave.com?
Oh yeah, someone's buying it right now.
Right now,
That's actually a good idea. It's a good app name, datacave.com. Anyways.
Help yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Ezra, how big is your catalog, give or take?
We're managing about 30,000 active SKUs right now.
Okay.
Holy smokes.
So not small.
Not small.
Not small.
Yeah. Everything's about scale.
Everything's about scale, right? So 30,000 SKUs, how do you create, let alone optimize your listings across 30,000 SKUs? Are there any apps or anything that you've used to help keep
So
that?
we started off with a few different partners to help us create these listings.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot from them. Eventually, we found that there's just so much nuance to each type of listing.
Yeah.
And the best of the apps makes it's a little bit tough. So we ended up having to build something in-house, which is how we became developers. We spend a lot of time creating these mappings because all these fields, these required fields that are out there, and each
primarily product type mappings. What were you?
Yeah. And all the attributes.
Okay.
Attributes.
Each one's different.
So and each marketplace has their own version of it, and their own.
How many marketplaces are you in? Ish.
6.
Okay. Yeah.
So we ended up developing this whole platform that kind of takes our own naming conventions, turns them into maps, and also puts translations in it because Amazon doesn't like when you call it that. So we have translations for everything. And that really helped us a lot. And then the key was to kind of spread it throughout our whole operation. So we have designers who are contributing to the attributes instead of waiting for some listing guy to call up and ask, which kind of red is that? We're trying to flatten it out so we have the information as early as possible.
That is interesting.
And the other biggest challenge was then, the more information you have about these items, the better you are to sell them. So building out a keyword library for our advertising is essential to us being able to get off the ground for any new item. And we tend to be launching about a couple hundred pages a year.
Wow.
So there's a lot of work to be done to get those things moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about inventory again. Quick second. How many of you all use FBA at all?
All of
All of us? Okay. Okay. So when we think about the sort of suite of apps that we have available with FBA, and Leslie, I'll come to you on this one. Are there any features or functionalities that we're currently missing or that you'd like to see done differently?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity, particularly in the shipping space, being as, and I can imagine it's very challenging for you all as developers when things change within Amazon. But I would say one of our pain points ends up being related to shipments getting broken up to multiple places. We're shipping, large quantities in Q4. So anything related to streamlining shipping and making it kind of idiot-proof, because there's a lot of things right now with the new shipping system where you can make mistakes, or you're outsourcing it to somebody else to do, and they make a mistake, and there's not as much give to fixing. So anything related to streamlining shipping is key for us, and tracking that back. It's a very manual process to track those and make sure everything gets resolved. So if there was an easy one-stop all the way through with notifications, I would love that.
Okay.
And if you guys already have that software, please
Let us know.
meet me after and tell me.
Blink twice. Ezra, so thinking about fulfillment, this is a safe space. I'm going to go ahead and assume you don't just sell on Amazon. It's okay. You don't have to admit yes or no. I'm just going to assume.
Fine.
Fine, whatever. So how do you manage fulfillment across multiple channels?
So that's a space that we don't want to develop for.
Yeah.
So we found an excellent partner, SellerCloud, who I think these guys are here. They do a fantastic job for us in being able to handle order management and our WMS, warehouse management software. So we couldn't survive without them.
Yeah.
They make it possible for us to fulfill to all the channels. Our warehouse team each are working around with scanners. There's images of the items in front of them.
Cool.
It's kind of dummy proof. It's been, they also helped us integrate with an auto bagger, which changed our lives last year during Q4. We didn't know how we were going to survive, and with it,
Did they bring you the auto bagger, or
we just brought it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, actually no." I called them. They said, "Oh, some other guy did it," and then they helped us hook it up.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Lightbox system for multi-piece orders.
Nice.
These things were essential to our growth, really. So they're fantastic. Really.
Very cool. James, I'm going to jump to you. Let's talk a little bit about data automation and reporting. I know that's what a lot of you all spend a decent amount of your time in. Are there any apps that you've used to either streamline or make data analytics a little bit more easily accessible? And how has that worked in terms of your business strategy?
So, I think one of the trends in the seller world this year is hyper focus on profitability, just with costs expanding everywhere. And so I've really dived into that. And, there's a lot of basic programs. We use Helium 10 for some of it. We use,
Yes.
Thank you. You need to fix some stuff.
SellerCloud really needs to change. I don't know where you all were.
So we can use that for some, and then there's another tool called Managed by Stats. I don't know if they're here.
Nope.
And so there's a combination of that plus some custom in-house reporting, and then so that's really helped us get on top of things. But I think one of the challenges of the seller is the second you get one view, you realize you need one more view to really do things effectively. So taking some of that data that those tools make available to then build your own views. So for instance, I've really gotten good at my weekly, really detailed P&L breakdowns. And then now I realize that I need to get daily and then potentially hourly breakdowns of some of those spend categories. So, what is my sponsored product spend and tacos plus discount spend per product per day? So that when something breaks, I can really respond. So I'll give you a quick example. I started tracking this stuff daily about a month and a half ago, and I noticed that I would have a problem running perfect at a 10% tacos, and then all of a sudden it would go to 60%.
Oh.
And on a sustained rate for a few days, and I'd go realize okay, my main competitor, Amazon had a lot of inventory. They're selling at a loss. They're killing my conversion. I need to cut spend until Amazon's inventory is gone.
Oh,
so
wow.
one little thing like that, one product in a catalog of 50 can break my taco spend for a month. So, so it's like that level of attention and competitor awareness, and it's not just enough to run your own keywords and all that. So I'm really trying to get faster, deeper, quicker, more visibility. And I think that's an example of kind of what I'm focused on right now.
So it sounds like you're using daily data now.
Yeah.
The dream is real time.
Yeah, which is coming.
What's in
Amazon
between?
Marketing Cloud.
Yeah. What's in between? What's the P1?
Daily I wake up and I have an email in my inbox that tells me all the stuff I got to be worried about that day.
Yeah.
Because it's nice to have known problems. It's scary to have unknown problems. Like the sharks in the water. If you can see the fin, you know how many seconds you got left.
Yeah. Happy
it's like,
Shark Week, if anyone's not watching it.
That's
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where I'm at. Is I just want to know what's out there, and just better real-time reporting, and instead of just not sleeping at night because of the things I don't know that might be breaking. So.
But at a minimum, daily digest, proactive notifications.
That would just make me so happy. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Ezra, let's jump to you. Talk to me about data visualization and reporting. Is there anything that you have found that sort of meets your needs or is really helping you in terms of your monitoring?
So we use a few apps. I actually, one of them's here, AZ Seller Kit, have fantastic tools.
Row 4, 3.
We find that they thought about things in, smart ways, and you don't actually always think of all the ideas of what information you need because there's so much out there. I want to make money. That's nice. I don't want to lose money.
Right.
So there's very important information we learned there. The other major upgrade that we had in the last couple of years is we started dumping all of our information into Power BI. There's others out there.
Yeah.
Business intelligence software has really been a tremendous game changer for us.
Yeah.
It's all about getting more of it in there and naming it right, and it's so fast, and it puts all the information at our fingertips. And like you were saying, it's all about profitability and analysis that we're trying to do now. So we're really trying to break down every single transaction and figure out how much are we actually making. Right now nobody's doing all the math perfectly. So being able to kind of allocate all the expenses to each piece has turned into our biggest focus right now. Being able to allocate those costs and then being able to see, okay, this item is profitable or not, is been critical for us, because when you have 30,000 SKUs, it's time to dump some and find some new ones. So which ones to dump is a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. So you all have all been selling in Amazon for a while. You've seen sort of the proliferation of apps available and of different sort of third-party developers in the space. We've heard a little bit about problems and features you'd like to see, but is there any white space or problem that is not currently solved that you would love to see solved by a new app? And Leslie, I'll jump to you, but if others want to chime in on that.
Yeah. And again, because there's so many apps, somebody here is going to be like, I've already solved that. Yeah. So please, again, reach us later after.
Yeah.
I think, with ads becoming more and more expensive and with Amazon taking over so much of the space with ads, even organic rank isn't enough anymore. It used to be you could have organic rank and you would be in good shape. I think anything that relates to more intelligence around our organic rank and our ad spend and connecting the two so that we can dial in and be more efficient, so that we're not spending on things that are actually performing really well at organic, but then actually spending a little more where we want to rank. And I think kind of marrying that in an automated way, we use AI ad ads. We use a company for ads that are automatically bidding up and bidding down and making sure that they're more effective. But it's never factoring in where we place organically.
Yeah.
And I think that part for me would be a great connection, and just ensure we're making a better use of our dollars. Also a better experience for the customer as well, because they're going to be getting things that are more relevant when they need them. So
Yeah,
that would be great.
absolutely. I love that. I will actually say that's something that we are trying to work on inside of Amazon
I love
as well.
it. Yeah.
Because it's certainly a problem, as we talked about, with cold start
Yeah.
and newer products in the space too.
And taking into also, I'm just loving brand analytics. It tells us so much
great.
about what we convert on, because I don't just want to rank for any keyword. I want to rank for the keywords that I convert best on. And I want to abandon the things that, adult party games, I'm not going to rank for. But gifts for a 7-year-old, I can rank all day.
Yeah,
So something that would always factor those things in. And I just love that Amazon is sharing more data. And I love that developers are being able to use more of that to help us.
That's great. Before I jump to another question, are there other white space opportunities that you all had top of mind? Don't feel pressure.
The only one I'd throw out there is, I think in most of the world of e-commerce, it's not Amazon. There's a very concrete focus on funnel management. And I think there's a lot of funnel type data available on Amazon, and I've never seen a really great view from top to bottom, right? Like,
Yes.
you have SQP, you have sponsored products. There's a ton of analytics there. You have a ton of brand data. You have a bunch of like ASIN, parent and child level conversion and traffic data. Making that one whole picture that I can look at to just say like, hey, how am I doing at converting in my category?
Right.
Is currently a very complicated process. And I think that most sellers, if they knew to ask, it would probably be the number one question in their mind. So, I think that's one thing that I would really think about building, or am trying to build, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a sparkle in your eye.
Well, no, I don't actually. I'll say that we're very, very focused on AI right now. I think the space is tremendous. We brought in a consultant to teach my team AI.
Nice.
Because we just think it's the future.
And are we talking generative AI, LLM, or
Yeah,
other brands?
Well, we're more interested in what's to come, because LLMs are, they have a lot of usefulness in our business, but we know that there's like cold hard table data that we want to like rip apart.
Got it.
So that's why we brought someone in to teach us, and I'm just sure that you guys are going to think of amazing ways to utilize it, and we're looking forward to it, especially in the supply-demand area. We have our niches and our abilities, and we know how to make apparel and some pet beds, and right. So if I shove in what I know how to make, I would love to know where there's space. Right? Where's the white space? That's exactly what we call it. Where's our white space? So that'd be great.
I love that. I love that. James, I'm going to come to you to think a little bit about the App Store itself. What would you like to see different about the App Store? Is there anything that either you would like to have available to help sort of choose amongst apps better, or anything that you'd like to see in terms of features or functionality in the store itself?
One thing that, in 10 years, I think 10 years ago when I was trying to find an app for a problem, I would go to Quora. I would maybe look on like Reddit,
Yeah.
Now there's dedicated Discord groups and some of these things. I even like started a blog trying to like write about my data-driven results of certain products.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I posted that on Reddit and got accused of being a shill for those products. And so it was like, I think there's this, in the seller world, just this total lack of data on like what's actually working, what are the techniques, what are the methods. And I think someone mentioned, like every brand is such a unique little animal. And even within my brands, like one product can have a totally different characteristic from another product.
Right.
And so some kind of, I think there's reviews and things like that on the App Store right now, which are somewhat helpful, but getting more in detail and letting sellers really share their stories of like, here was the exact problem I had and here's how I solved it. Here was the result I achieved. Some way to make that available so other sellers can really tell what's going on. I
Yeah.
think that's, because there's such a big cost to change when you're a company and you
Yeah.
spend weeks or months vetting things, making a change, and then on day 2 realize this is not the right thing. Like, oh, I should not, now I need to do that whole process again.
Right.
And so everything you can do to make that research and analysis of the tool a little easier, I think makes it easier for us.
So some way to, if I'm hearing correctly, some way to clearly validate that your use case is served by a specific
exactly.
app.
Maybe anonymized data that you can use a demo product on. Or, something like that would be cool. Or, seeing it really in action. Or
Yeah.
It could be interesting too if you got a little, if there are reviews and you could tell a little more about the person reviewing it. Because your SKU count versus my SKU count is very
Right.
different.
Right.
And knowing the level of the seller and the level of the issue might help with, being, all reviews are not equal.
Right.
Somebody who, if somebody who wrote a review that would solve my problem probably won't solve your problem always.
And you can probably identify the tools that work for you do not work for multi-thousand
Exactly.
SKU catalogs, especially highly variated ones with parent. So like
Totally.
there are these just seller level differences where I just know like that product's not for me, but you don't know necessarily without trying it out, setting it up, doing all this, and then realizing. So
Yeah.
I was thinking that it would be, like something like Emerald on steroids would be, like if everything could be turned into microservices so that we could just pick apart what we need, and we didn't have to your advertising is being managed by some other app out there, so you're stuck and you can't borrow any features from somewhere else. If we were able to kind of take a pick from wherever it was specialized or needed,
Right.
that would be tremendous.
This is a hardline seller with 30,000 SKUs and manufacturers in X amount of countries. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And something that we do for our customers, right? So we should.
Exactly.
So we've talked a little bit about what you would want in the App Store to help you make better decisions. But what do you use in the App Store today to decide, what data do you use to decide between which apps you'll use? Everybody, sorry.
I'll just jump on.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the main things that we do when we decide we need something new,
Yeah.
we usually come up with 3 to 5 questions, and we do the interview process. If they fail any of the questions, we just move on, right? Because if you're not answering these problems, then you're not in the right spot.
And are the questions specific to your business?
Yeah, we're trying to. It's an advertising keyword issue,
I see.
and we need to know that you could do that and that.
Got
and
it.
that. And if you can't do that, let's
You're not
go.
for us. Yeah.
And then we also have a cost restriction. We don't allow anybody to take a piece of the business. So
Yeah.
if you want a piece of my business, you can't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it's got to be a fixed kind of
Pricing.
costing structure
Yeah.
that makes sense. Of course, there's scale for size, but no piece of the business.
Yeah.
And we love specialized software. The do-it-all guys, it's not as efficient. And we find the people that are specializing, like Feedvisor and advertising and things like that, we find they really just hit it on the head. And there's no reason to try and replace them, right? They're doing it all day, every day for thousands of customers. So we're sure we're covered.
right.
Got it.
That's interesting. For
others?
us, for choosing software, I will say mainly I go to groups. I'm in a group called $1 Million Sellers.
Yeah.
And I need a personal recommendation, referral, and know their experience. I know them as a seller. I know what would work, and I can just ask in there what will solve my issue. And then I will go over to the App Store just to make sure it's a trusted partner.
Yeah.
I think the validation of knowing, there's always fear of sellers that will get our accounts shut down. And I don't know if anybody's ever had a software in their account that got shut down from Amazon, and you worry it reflects on you because you were using that software. So that's where I would go and make sure that I've done things above board. But solving that solution is key. And it's interesting that you say, you like the specialized stuff, which I do too for certain areas. I asked in our group, the $1 Million Seller Group, about like how much are you spending on apps, and everybody in there is selling over $1 million a year, and everybody was, about 70% of people were from, maybe it's more like 80 that were $500 and up, and many people doing more like 5,000. And I know when you have a complex SKU, you're saving money with that that money that you spend. But for us, sometimes we are finding one tiny feature in a bigger software, and I'm paying a premium for that tiny feature.
Microservice.
Yeah, exactly what you were saying. It would be great to be able to, because all day I'm your customer, I'm your target audience. I sign up for software and I don't leave. Like I forget that I signed up and then I'm still paying. I need to go through everything. But sometimes it is that micro piece where I'm like, I need that one little piece, but I'm paying for duplicate services across 10 different softwares just to make sure that I get that one piece. So I like what you're saying.
Yeah. So personal referral. James, anything else that we didn't hit?
I tend to use the App Store as like a rule out option, like as long as, because I will need to I assemble my 5 things I'm going to consider. I go do in-depth things. I ask for case studies. I ask for referrals from the sales team. So you want to talk to someone. I'm like you, I'm really getting strict on, absolutely never again will I give a percentage of sales or anything like that. It's got to be. It's got to be fixed fees, so it's kind of that stuff. And then I think the big thing now is I'm looking at focus, just like you guys are saying. The 80 tool stuff, it just can't keep up.
Right.
No one can keep up. So, it's like do one thing really well, and I'll take 80 things that do 80 things really well instead of one thing that does it kind of okay. So.
One thing I would add when we were talking about microservices for developers and software providers, if you had more of a option for pricing by feature, so that it's easier for me to take pieces that are
like
important.
a Helium 10.
Yes, and I don't know, SEM Rush, I use only one part of it because if I used everything, it would be overkill for me because it's not the thing that we would use. But if we could get those features a little more economically, and then I can't wait for Emerald if everything was integrated in a way that I could see it the way I wanted, that would be amazing. Of course, we're dreaming here, but girl can dream, right?
Luckily, you have a group of people that have had careers out of making dreams reality. So it's a good audience to do it. All right, so at Amazon, we talk a lot about what our superpowers are. So our last question is, if you could have any superpower that would help you navigate your seller journey on Amazon, what would it be?
Whoa.
Ezra.
I think I mentioned it already, but I'm really hoping that there's going to be some development in supply demand with AI. I think that we have a unique ability to create, develop, design, import all the logistics. Like we could do amazing things, but we just need to know what's the spot, and it doesn't even have to be huge, right? If there's 10,000 people out there that want something, that's a lot of people. If there's nobody supplying it,
right?
So we're that's the dream out there, right? Superpower would be tell me what's next,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I like that related to AI. I feel as optimistic as you do because, as we were talking about, profitability is key. And I think it's meshing all that data and coming up with really good insights about how to grow and stay profitable. And, if you look at for me, if I look too closely at one area, I can maybe optimize that area, but I'm not contemplating increase in sales because I'm trying to get my tacos down. Thinking about the longer, bigger picture and how to scale in a efficient way. And that learning served up to me in a way that's very actionable would be great versus having to do all the digging to find out, we get so excited when we got the search query performance data. It was like, oh my gosh, I know what I convert on. This is amazing. Right. But then, again, pulling all of it all together and then getting down to a bottom line and saying, hey, you're going to take a hit on profitability, but your increased growth long-term would be great. And here's another place you might be able to save on things. So that insight will be amazing, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know if it's a superpower, but I think one of the things I spend a lot of time thinking on is how to marry all the things my company does and have it benefit everywhere. So we probably spend one of our biggest budget line items is content for our social, our website. You know, we run Kickstarters, probably not anymore, but you know, there's all this video, there's all these cool photo shoots, and it's really hard to make that stuff sing on Amazon. And you know, I would say I'm not a commoditized product, but what really sets us apart is our brand, and we're local, and we're a small team, and we do cool stuff, and we're trying to innovate. And you know, and then I find myself like, all I worry about is like, which shadow is right for my A/B test for my underwear picture, you know, instead of telling them like, here's why Woolly's neat, and there's why this, like, no offense, Chinese holding company from Toronto is not that neat, you know. And so trying to make that all spread across and be one thing, and let customers really see the full picture of who they're engaging with, really show up. I think that would be the thing that would be exciting, because right now I kind of feel like I run two companies in one company. There's the entire content and team that does all our off Amazon stuff, and we can really focus on brand story there. And then there's the team that runs the Amazon and its spreadsheets and data points and A/B testing and all this stuff. And you know, I think both of those things together is a really compelling picture. And so yeah, trying to marry those.
So if I were to summarize, it would be tell me how to grow, tell me what's next, and tell me how to stand out. Is that right?
There you go.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. This concludes our panel for the day. I really appreciate it. We will all be lingering around today, tonight, and tomorrow. So please find us out. Ask us any questions. If you have any of the apps that help you how to grow, how to stand out, and what was the one I missed, and what's next, you know who to find. But can we get a round of applause for our sellers today?
Thank you.
That's great.